Welcome, it's Tony DADA, your soul brother from another mother, coming to share with you another one of our video blogs. And this evening, or should I say today, we're going to be talking about a number of different things. But before I do that and break it down, I want to invite my co-host, young Nathaniel Berthier, to join me as we break some nuggets down pertaining to our recent blog. Natty, are you there?
Hey, Uncle, how you doing?
I'm really good, really good. So it's always good when we get together like this because it gives us an opportunity to break down the recent blog that I wrote. And of course, this is your idea because you always think that there are some insights that sometimes don't come across that well in written form. And you like to sort of break them down and tease them out and just see if there are even deeper nuggets within them. So when you read the blog, what came up for you in, the whole subject?
What came up for me? Well, first, I thought it was a lesson within a story. And
Should we put some context to it so that people know what we're talking about? Yeah.
So when I say a lesson within a story, the lesson I got was your sacred yes. But the story was about how you and your very good friend, Donald, went to Ghana to meet your mentor, Brother Ishmael.
Yeah, so that was way back in 2010. First trip ever to go to Ghana. I've been to Africa before, but Ghana. And I thought it was really a special occasion because I timed it and planned it so that my good friend Donald, who originates from the West Indies, was able to land on the motherland, as it were, on the day of his 50th birthday. And it was just like so emotional for him. So that was really powerful, but it was also about the fact that we were connecting with my spiritual mentor and a number of different spiritual people from different parts of the globe. A lot came from America and some came from other places, but we came together to really just celebrate what my spiritual mentor was doing in Africa and what other spiritual people were doing around the globe, like Michael Beckwith from The Secret that people are familiar with. So that was kind of like the foundation of what it was all about.
Yeah.
But then what happened, and that's what I talk about in the blog, and I guess that's the story that you're referring to, is how that one event was really quite transformational for me without me realizing it. And it really speaks about being mindful of the kind of people that you surround yourself with, what kind of circles you get into. Because here I was now in Africa with a whole group of spiritual, conscious individuals. And then this lady gives me a book, Deborah Johnson, who's from the States, and she gave me a book called My Deepest Intent. And that book was really powerful because it really made me ask the question when I got back to the UK and started reading it. The question that I don't know if many people ask themselves, like, what are you really about? What's your vision? What's your purpose? And I've always had those things in mind, but her book just really made it a cemented question that I just really dug deep to search for. And it's something that I recommend that everyone should do, because then you get clarity about where you're going and what you're doing. And also it showed me the importance of having, like I said, like-minded people around you, whether it be mentors or coaches, but people that are on the same and in the same space as you, that you can draw on, that you can lean on, that you can grow with. So the question is, do you have that kind of space, that kind of thing going on in your life?
Yeah, I think that's a very important question to really find out who you are. And it's also an exercise that I've been, going through for quite a while. Yeah.
So the question I want to ask you and tell you about, how is it for you younger people? The title of the blog was, What Are You Living For? And I mean, is that a question that you actually pondered on? Because it seems to me like it's so easy right now for young people to get lost in that whole thing of wanting to look a certain way because of Instagram and Facebook, wanting to floss a certain way, wanting to dress a certain way, wanting to have certain things. And it makes you really caught up, or it can make you really caught up in those things. I'm not saying there's anything good or bad about them, but it can get you caught up. So as a result of being caught up in those things, one can find oneself lost in being clear about what are you living for. Is that something that you even think about as young people?
Well, I can't speak for all, but definitely for me, I started asking myself that question about a year and a bit ago, about like, what is the purpose for me being here? I haven't really found an answer because I just started asking myself that question, like, because I'm coming to the age of where I'm 25 and I'm like, okay, so 25, you've gone through school, you've done college, you did the uni and you dropped out and you started working working with yourself and then with myself. And it's like, so what do we do now? Like, what are we here for?
Okay.
That's what I started asking myself. So
Well, there's a saying that goes like this. It says that there are the two most important days of your life, and that's one, the day that you're born, and then two, the day that you wake up to why you were born. So I guess you're searching for that second important day.
yeah, yeah,
And that's a journey in itself. And I think that's really what this blog touched on in terms of my experience, because you have to have that desire, you have to have that searching. I put it in an acronym. The acronym is ASK. You've got to be asking the universe, like, what am I here for? Because as an acronym, it's A, always, S, seeking, K, knowledge. You have to be persistently always seeking knowledge. And then eventually you'll begin to get clarity as to what that purpose is. And then once you get that clarity as to what that purpose is, well, then you get the opportunity to commit. You see, a lot of people ask for clarity and then they get clarity. Life shows them that, you know what, this is your lane. This is what you're supposed to stick to. Like Usain Bolt, he committed himself to what, 10, 11, 12 seconds of work, if you get what I mean. Yeah. But we know him the world over because he made the commitment. So asking the universe, what am I here for? What's my purpose is one thing. Getting the response and the clarity is great. And it demonstrates a lot of work, but nothing really comes to real fruition until you then decide to commit to that thing. And that is the toughest part, but that's when you really get shaped. And, I touch on it in my blog, but where this particular incident occurred back in 2010, August, I made a commitment within 12 months and I spent 10 years being on that mission, committed to that vision, no salary, having to make things work, but make things work because I was committed to that vision. And now, 10 years down the road, I'm seeing the wealth of benefits as a result of me staying on that vision and staying committed. And so that's a word that I bring up because I wonder how many of us are prepared to stay committed to our vision once we find our purpose. What's your take?
I mean, that's a difficult one. So in terms of me asking myself that question, I'm like, if I do my best in everything that I do, eventually I'll find something that I like the most, or something that I feel the most joy from after it's been done. That's what I've been doing the past 6 months, actually, 6 months. 10 months. It's
Or
10.
just doing stuff and seeing what piques your interest.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just being open,
Yeah.
being fluid.
Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. I mean, I think now is more of an exciting time than ever before. And of course, it's a double-edged sword in that there's so many possibilities and so many opportunities for people to generate the lifestyle that they want to live. And I think that's really the interesting time, because you can literally sit and dream about the life you want to live and then get to work in terms of creating it, right? My generation, it wasn't like that. We literally just dreamed and thought, yeah, whatever, it ain't gonna happen. But you guys can make it happen. I know I was talking to someone just the other day who's only like 24 and he just graduated from uni a year ago. And during lockdown, he was thinking, well, what can I do? And he started an online business, and he's turning over 200,000 in 12 months. That would have been impossible a few years ago, certainly in my days when we were that kind of age. So there's lots of opportunities. But the flip side of that is, if you don't have clarity in terms of your gifts, your talents, your abilities, what you love, what you're passionate about, and what you're willing to commit to, then you can still feel overload and still feel like there's so much and too much opportunity that you don't know which way to turn. But that's not your issue. You ain't got that.
No, because in terms of me trying everything, it has to be within the remit of my commitments. So so it has to work around those commitments. For example, the commitment I have with you, the commitment I have to myself, like it has to work around those. I'm not gonna try to impede that process.
Yeah, but I think it also is a case of regularly reviewing your commitments, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, and I'm not saying that in a negative way, but reviewing our lives on a regular basis helps us to see how well or how much we've grown. And if we actually still want to be on that particular path, So I think reviewing things is definitely always a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, when I came back from Ghana back in 2010, that's when I began to review things. I mean, I was on a quest anyway. And as I said, within 12 months, I found myself in a place where I was ready to make another level, a different kind of commitment to myself, a commitment to want to really spend time to discover and figure out what my gifts, my talents, and my abilities were, and how I wanted to apply them, and what my definition of success really meant to me. Because I think, and I'd love to know what you think, but it's true that everybody wants to be successful, but I don't know if everybody actually understands for themselves personally what success means, as opposed to wanting success that's based on what their friends have or what somebody else has. What's your take on that?
Well, for me, it's defined weird, because at the same time, it's success. The journey to success is a hard one, and it's only hard that it only gets harder along the way if you don't learn the lessons that life teaches you along the way.
Mm.
So it just depends on how vigilant you are and how much you're willing to learn.
So are you saying that some people aren't really committed to learning, and hence that's why it can be a hindrance for them sometimes?
Well, yeah, because I realized in my life that I go through a cycle. I do certain things, and then I might mess up somewhere, and it will cause all the good things that I've done to be at break even. So what's the point of even doing it? So what's the lesson in that loop?
Right. Okay.
So what is that thing that you do that brings across a negative situation or an even situation?
So would you not say that having someone or people to steer you might help you better in the future, not trip up? Because what I'm hearing you say is that you do good, you do great work for a consistent period of time, and then you just do one crazy thing that scatters everything.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, you should have someone in your corner, someone that you can speak to, someone that can advise you as well.
I think it's very important. And what I love about young people that I'm seeing now is a lot of young people are really open to the whole idea of mentoring and coaching. It makes sense because literally that can save you time, save you money, save you messing up and having to start again, like that whole snakes and ladders scenario. You just get to 98, 2 more spaces to go, and then you get a snake that takes you back down to 15. You don't want that experience. So having a mentor and a coach, definitely, in my opinion, is something that is beneficial. And as a result, and I'm not touting for work, I just think it's just where the smart cats go. Is what the smart cats do.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I think that's everything for today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the one nugget that you'd like to leave our viewers with?
Well, to be honest, the nugget that stood out for me most, like I said in the beginning, was the lesson in the story. And the lesson that I got was, what is your secret? What is your secret? Yes. What is your intent? What is your deepest intent?
Okay. And I agree that when you come to the realization of, what are you living for? When you ask yourself that question, it allows you to have a broader experience as to what life is. It's not just about making money. You get a sense of being able to be responsible and broad in your reflection as to what life's all about. So if that's hopefully got people thinking on that kind of a level, then that's a good thing, because I believe we all have a contribution to make. But do we ask enough questions? Do we care enough to really dig deep enough to find those answers and then bring them out? Because that's really what it's going to take. So maybe this will be a thought-provoking blog that will allow some people to start asking those questions.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Okay, so well, it's really good. Thanks for having me or allowing us to have this catch up. And I hope that someone finds it useful. It's me, Tony DADA, your soul brother, and young Natty, saying enough love, and see you next time.
Thanks a lot.